Hello everyone. Sorry this was running a bit late because I have just got back from work and we are about to jump in with Murtidash and Succuboi. They are apparently already in the game, so I am just going to find them and we will jump in. I think Aim is joining us very soon. So let's do the thing. Let's find the game. There we go. Pangolin Madness versus the REBBRL Fangz. We are a go. I am just going to jump into a match room so that Aim can join me. Aim being a finalist in the college finals, and I will be talking to him about that soon. Sorry I was turning away from my mic. I have literally just gotten from work, haven't even taken my tie off. Okay, so we have managed to catch the game just as it's starting. It is Succuboi and his disgusting REBBRL Fangz versus Pangolin Madness, Murtidash's disgusting Chaos Dwarves. This should be a bit of a bloodbath, in theory. You know, all things in Love and Blood Bowl being equal. I am currently just grabbing some snacks because I have literally eaten nothing all day. I've been at work since midday-ish. So I'm drinking Lucasade and eating strawberry laces like a healthy human being. Let me get my chat up as well and make sure everything is working, because if not, then I'm just talking to nobody, and that would be pretty weird. Watch this. My chat won't work now. Okay, so... Oh, sorry if you just got the ping there. That is my chat program deciding it wants to update. I believe that the REBBRL Fangz are attacking first, so we will do that. I will spam the links out now as well. It's been a long day. My brain is not quite working properly. Just about caught that in time, I think. So quite impressed with myself. Sorry if you're getting some random Minecraft sounds. Pressing the wrong buttons, which is always a grand old time, isn't it? Yeah, there we go, that is working. Just gonna spam. Maybe we've had a pause, I'm not sure. Hey Ben, how you doing? This is probably going to be carnage, we will see. Although, apparently, we have a pause already. Interesting. Hopefully not a disconnect, that would kind of be rubbish, given that I've kind of chucked myself here as quickly as possible. Awesome Aim should be joining me for the chattering. But we will see. I'm eating the things. How you doing, bruv? Anyway, can you hear me all right? You hear my crinkly Haribo packet. Sorry for the noise, everyone. I am literally eating sweets like a child because I bought food and haven't had time to cook it before this happens. So, update from Succuboi, he is just running his Wi-Fi through the ringer because the weather is being a bit rubbish. So that is why we are having a pause at the moment. It's basically a disconnect, but it's a disconnect that hopefully should only last for a short time.
Hello, what's happening here?
Hey Aim, how you doing?
Doing alright.
Can everyone hear Aim? Because last time Aim was here, he was basically my invisible friend, and that's a bit weird. Have you seen these disgusting teams?
Not yet, I'm just getting into the match right now.
They are truly disgusting. Thanks, bruv. So, Succuboi is just restarting his Wi-Fi router because he's a bit concerned about the crappy weather. So we are basically just staring at a pause screen at the moment. But just look at these teams. They are mean.
Let's see what we got here. We got break tackle, we got block, we got some guard, we got some piling on, got some strength ups. Yeah, it's pretty filthy.
It's just going to be mean. I think the only thing really is that Murtidash has a distinct lack of claw, which could come into a play here. But look at Despair. Look at Despair. Mighty Blow, Guard, Claw. That's horrible. I mean, Chaos Dwarves in general are pretty horrible because they have the whole block and tackle and all that kind of stuff. But that is just horrible. I mean, he's got a dodge dude. He's got dodge on a bull centaur. Oh no, it's not dodge. It's break tackle. It's break tackle. Sorry, I'm looking at it.
It's red dodge.
Yeah, it's red dodge. So this is just going to be monstrous, I think. You do, Ben. Aim is the college finalist for this year. You will be playing him in the 1 Minute League. The guy who he just beat in the playoffs, Viscardis, is your next opponent.
Have fun with that.
Yeah. Viscardis is a scary good coach. I mean, you did kill his tree. That was just mean.
Dude, Donkey Kong does what Donkey Kong does. Alright? I don't control it.
Donkey Kong, he decided he needed more barrels, so he wanted some wood. That's what I'm going to say. Donkey Kong got wood. That's just wrong.
Alright. I would like to note that the Chaos Dwarves have opted to take a Chaos Dwarf blocker with 1 level up, and it's going to be guard on that guy.
Oh, yeah.
It took me a minute to process. Why does that guy have loner? Oh, that's why. They also took a bribe, which this game's going to get foul-y pretty quick.
I would have thought so. I think we're going to possibly see an attempt to foul Urgoyf off the field, because Urgoyf is a scary, scary boy.
Ah, the brutal blitzer. Not that it's much more than, you know, the other ones. The one here. Just the mighty blow tackle.
Yeah. I mean, the one concern that I would say that I have about Succuboi's team, I'm not sure why I just heard an echo of my own voice there. That was a little bit weird. Just a random one. But the one concern I have about Succuboi's team is he has the same problem as I do, in fact, which is that he has struggled to level these Black Orcs. And because these killer pieces are kind of racing away from the Black Orcs in terms of development, ooh, that's nasty. That is one of those unleveled Black Orcs straight out of it.
Oh!
Oh! Now that I was not expecting. Does he re-roll this? Does he re-roll this? Part of me is just like, just leave it. It's a 3 SPP. Yeah.
Did someone ask for Caster's Curse? Oh my god!
Wow. I think he just re-rolled it and got a dead. He re-rolled it dead into dead.
I didn't see a reroll.
I'm not sure I did either. No, he didn't. He didn't re-roll it. I just saw a flicker on my screen and thought he'd used the Apo. But yeah, so wow, what a start! I said there was going to be blood, and there's blood before the ball has even landed. Crazy days.
Oh my god, if you ever wanted to see Caster's Curse, it brings up the lack of development on the Black Orcs. Well, not gonna be developing that one any further. Gonna be taking a permanent knee there.
That is truly brutal. I am very impressed with the Blood Bowl gods for giving us exactly what we asked for. That's more death than some games see, so we will see here. What do you think the strategy would be for you, Aim? I mean, I know you're probably the last person that we should really be asking about strategy, as yours seems to be. Make everyone think you're an idiot, and then suddenly be brilliant. Just for the record, by the way, we've just had to do the whole voting for things, and I don't really mind admitting it. I voted for you as coach of the season. Because,
oh, thanks.
Hey, you confounded expectations the whole way through, and you're in the final now. That's a bloody impressive run, my friend.
So, you asked me about what to do in this game. I gotta be honest, Bash versus Bash, it just doesn't work for me. I don't understand it.
Seems reasonable.
Like, if you give me a fast team, I'll just go running. If you give me slow dwarves, I'm just like, they can't move.
I have
How am I
no
supposed
idea
to do
what I'm
this?
doing right here. And to be fair, the Chorfs is slightly quicker than that because they have the hobos and the bull centaurs.
Oh yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think for this one, this could well be given its. I'm facing the wrong team here, aren't I? I should be facing. Yeah. Okay. So sorry, I've just switched it round, which meant that we missed the effects of that block. But it doesn't look like anything particularly serious happened.
It was a 1 in 9.
Yeah. It is a good 1 in 9 for the Orcs. So I think with Succuboi here, he's immediately on the back foot because he's lost that black orc. It's a big piece to lose, even unleveled. It's still a strength 4 wall of spam you can stick in front of something. Excuse me, that's the effects of guzzling Lucasade and eating strawberry laces.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I think the for me that death, because it's such a crazy random event as well, it kind of nukes your strategy a little bit. I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing that could have happened. I mean, that rock could have hit Urgoyf. I mean, just think about that. Which has happened to Succuboi.
Just straight up lose your star blitzer.
Yeah.
That would just be awful.
Just the dice gods have decided that it is Urgoyf's time. I'm still not getting where this echo is coming from, though. I'm wondering if I'm talking so loud that it's kind of picking up my headphones. That would be quite funny.
I'm not hearing an echo, so maybe coming from me. Is that what's happening here?
No, it was an echo of my own voice, so it was a little bit strange. The farty chair is in full effect tonight as well. Yeah, so I think with this is kind of going to be, to a certain degree, damage limitation until Succuboi can get his feet under him. I mean, once Urgoyf starts hitting people and hitting people hard, it's going to be hard not to see him removing pieces. Good work on going for the Hobgoblin here, I think. I think that's probably a wise thing. You want to knock out things that could be scoring threats. Problem with that is, these scoring threats are the Bull Centaurs. They're one of the very few big guys in the game who don't really have a downside.
I don't know if you call them big guys.
Yeah, I mean, they get Minotaurs, so...
Not that you'd ever pick a Minotaur, but, you know, if you ever just want to make a meme build, there you go.
Meme builds, they are good for, and I have seen several Chaos teams be successful with Minotaurs, but they are far too erratic for me.
Oh, no. Chaos Minotaur, fine, yeah. Fair enough. But Chaos Dwarf Minotaur, you don't get that mutation access.
Exactly, which is rubbish. I mean, why would you take a Minotaur without access to mutations?
If I'm rolling, well, it has access, but it's on doubles. And if I'm rolling doubles on a big guy, I am picking block, I am picking dodge, I am picking pro. I am not gonna be picking. Ooh, I got doubles. Time to take those tentacles. Woohoo!
The only time really,
woo!
The only time I can really see someone taking mutations on a Minotaur is if you already got block, and then you're like, well, I've got block, I've got Might Blow, I might as well get claw because I've rolled another double. I agree. When you have something on doubles like that, where there is so much more important things on doubles, you might as well functionally not have access to it.
Yeah, and even then, you know, if you do roll doubles 3 times in a row, that's 90k on a Minotaur, and you could just not have, like, say, Claw and Tentacles, you could not have those be doubles, and those would only be 20k on the Chaos team. There's really no incentive to picking up the Minotaur.
Absolutely. Okay, that's a block and a block. So we got both down, so they just kind of punch each other a bit. Here we go. Really going for Urgoyf here. Gets the push. It's not ideal. Steps in. Pushes him off of the ball carrier though, which is better. But I can't see Despair here. Yeah, maybe Despair goes in with the punch. I mean, it's not going to be a great punch. I can't see it happening.
It's A half die.
It's a half die. It is a half die. I can't see that happening. It's fine. I'll deal with the echo anyway, Benny. You and your foulness. You can tell he's my brother, can't you? So, just out of personal interest, which of these teams would you like to face the least? Assuming that... Ooh, that's a skull. There we go, there's the POW. Instant reroll there. Which of these teams would you like to face the least, Aim? Assuming that Black Hawk hadn't died in the opening seconds.
I'm not too sure. On the one hand, you know, orcs are a moderate speed, and Chaos Dwarves, the big punchy guys, can't really get to you, but the big Minotaurs, or not the Minotaurs, the Bull Centaurs can get to you. I suppose I would probably rather face the orcs, even though they got all this plus strength. They're still just kind of, they're just kind of lends to their bloat, and they don't have a whole lot of big punch, pile on, kill your team yet. Meanwhile, the Chaos Dwarves, they just delete your team.
They are.
Oh, he takes the red die.
Oh,
What?
he went for it. He got the push.
That's cheeky.
That's very cheeky. Yeah, I think that's the right choice. You push him back. You isolate Urgoyf. Push him away from your killer piece, so you're not getting killer on killer action, which is a shame when we want so much blood. But I think that was probably a wise decision from Murtidash there. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Chaos Dwarves are team deleters. I mean, that claw is so nasty. I suppose, really, it kind of depends on what AV the team that you're using is. Like, Wood Elves, claw don't really do all that much, does it? Because all it does is just makes everything AV7, which they are already. But yeah, in terms of team deleters, I would see Murtidash's team maybe have the edge there.
Oh my god! I was actually watching this game. It was Inarian, and he got this. Oh my god! How far was it? It was like 19-20 Wood Elves. I think they had a bench, and they faced up against Chaos Dwarves that had all guard, all mighty blow. There was one crazy one with like pro and claw, but that doesn't really matter. Anyway, the tree immediately gets cast by the claw, and then by, what was it, turn 6? There were 4 elves left. And I'm looking at this going, damn! Damn, where'd they go?
Yeah, that's
19-20 Wood Elves, deleted.
That sounds really nasty. And plausible as well. I mean, Chorf teams... There's a reason that Chorf teams are favoured by a lot of the top-end players in the CCL this year, because just because they delete teams. You can't really have a return match against someone who has murdered your entire squad, you know? Yeah, I mean, in terms of, like, weaklings, hobgoblins are weaklings, but... Unlike, say, lizards, where if you kill all the hobgoblins, they've still got bull centaurs who can score quite handily. So they might not be the most tough and hardy of, you know, bigger players. But, I mean, they're still strength 4, move 6 with sure feet built in, AV9. So it's going to be tough to shift them unless you've got some pretty hefty pieces on the go. Oh, there we go, cheeky little 1-die block.
Always an armor break.
Yep. And that's a stun.
Not a big stun, but the small victories are what we gotta take after taking a big loss.
For sure. And every Chaos Dwarf player down is a Chaos Dwarf player who is not moving up that field and piling pressure on your players and looking for those removals.
One of the main things that makes Chaos Dwarf scary, in my opinion, is that you already have block, you already have tackle. So, your first skill up is going to be guard or mighty blow, while other teams are going to have to start getting their own block, and maybe they'll have to start investing in tackle. Meanwhile, you already have all that. So, when you face up in this bash versus bash, you already got the guard, you have the mighty blow, you may even have piling on, while they only have, like, not much.
Yeah, for sure. I think the other thing with it is, as well, thick skull means that it's much harder to remove them. Just a push on that one.
I don't know if Thick Skull is something that would weigh heavily in this kind of matchup. It activates every now and then, and it makes a KO not a KO.
For sure. Like, it's not a big deal, but I would have thought that having it is better than not having it.
Yeah, of course.
So, when you're getting it for free, it's just, you know, added seasoning for the soup.
Added seasoning for the soup.
I don't know where that came from. That made it sound like I was from Alabama or something. There's some added seasoning for the soup, mama. There we go. There is a stun.
No, not the sneaky get. What a loss.
I've still not seen the sneaky get do anything. That's
another stun. 2 for 2.
That is a bigger stun. And it's a block orc gone down.
A lot of pows. Oof. Rolling the big dice.
For sure.
Making the chain pushes. Making the plays.
Yeah, this is pretty nasty so far. I can't really, if I'm honest, see Succuboi getting this ball next turn.
The way to play against Chaos Dwarves, as far as I'm aware, is that you have to spread them out, and once they're spread out, the advantage of guard is much, much less. Unfortunately, when your fastest movement is move 6, it's a little difficult to do that whole spreading out thing.
For sure.
So you just kind of end up stuck onto them like glue, and then you just get punched over and over.
That's smart play, because that means that Tough Maw can actually get in on ball without making any dodges, having blitzed that thing 2 out of the way. Danok Bonecatcher, the man who breaks the hobgoblin, they're not a man, who breaks the theme. Oh, that's unfortunate. Immediate reroll. Gets the POW. No arm break though. Urgoyf having a bit of a slow day so far.
Indeed, it's you're not going to see many armor breaks on either side, unless there's a big rock to the face. Then you see a death. But beyond that, unless hobgoblins start getting smashed, we're not going to see a whole lot.
For sure. Another cheeky 1-die POW on a hobgoblin. There we go. That is an armor break, and that is a KO on thing.
On cue.
Literally what we were just saying. Now, do we see... There is no babe on Murtidash's team, so losing the hobgoblins could be a thing. That's that bull centaur Milo cat getting punched repeatedly.
No, instead of babes, one for a bribe, which is... Yeah, it's what you want in this matchup. There are 2 players on the floor. You can easily get... Well, actually, now that Hobgoblin is gone, your best piece to foul with would either be the kicker, which you probably wouldn't want to, or the sure hands, which you probably wouldn't want to either. So, I mean, you can rely on the bribe, but sometimes it just doesn't work, and now you're down a player.
I think for sure here I massively approve of what Succuboi did in that he's stuck a strength 4 piece on the 2 hobgoblins. Which means it's either a dodge out or a 1-die.
Another armor break.
We're not going to see many. We're not going to see many. Oh, am I echoing? Okay, hang on. Let me just pull out my wire and put it back in.
Technical support.
That's why I keep him around, you know. Otherwise, I would have disowned him years ago. Is that better, Ben?
Here comes the blitz. Got that zigzag action.
Yeah. Pushes him away. I'm wondering if Murtidash is going to try and stall here. Doesn't really look like he can get stopped from scoring. Thank you for answering the question that I asked of someone else. Kiwi, Ben, as you can see, is more concerned about lobbing the insults.
Yep, we're going to see the stall here, which is 100% fair.
I think it's the wise decision. You could conceivably see the Orcs score in 5 turns.
Oh yeah, for sure, and more importantly, you'd rather not give them punches and rather not have them have the initiative when you're
Absolutely.
in such a dominant position. You got two guys were stunned last turn. You just stunned another one. It's just gonna be more and more. Eventually, you're gonna break through with all this mighty blow, and then maybe the piling on can start to assist in the battle. Now that we don't have to worry about blitzing him or whatever is near the ball.
Especially because the killer piece is still stuck around the halfway line. So, realistically speaking, I mean, what? You've got nobody who can get there. So, I suppose you attempt a blitz with Hrukar. But to do that, he would have needed to move Garrick Head Splitter up more. Okay, here comes the blitz. It's on the piece here. Can't get there, but can get in contact with the other Hobgoblin, I guess. Which he proceeds to do.
Ooh, going for the GFIs.
Yeah.
If you don't score, I'm coming.
Urgoif really not getting those results. That's another both down on a piece with block.
Yeah, those pieces are sturdy.
Oh, for sure. And then put to shame by the sneaky git. He gets a stun. Is that the sneaky git? It's not the sneaky git, it's the block orc. It is.
Those guys are sturdy.
Chin Basher himself. Ooh.
Unless you roll an 11. Ooh.
Clapped him. Went for the ankles. Always go for the ankles. Alright, so do we see Murtidash consolidate here and continue to try to stall? Or do we see Murtidash just cut his losses and try and go for the score?
Well, you have the break tackle, so you can just go right over there and say, get out of here.
I think we probably see him try and fend off those orcs for at least another turn. Although, that being said, Garrick Lightcorpse here is looking rather isolated. Granted, he is a loner, so who gives a shit, but...
So, the Blitz comes out there, which implies that we're not going to be removing Tough Maw.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see the score here.
Quite possibly. To save the potential damage to thing number 2. I cannot realistically conceive of a reason not to do it. But that being said, with him taking these risks to get there, he's just going to leg it down the field.
Okay.
Sacrificing thing 2 to the dice gods to hold out for another turn at least.
So this is just a 3+ dodge, and then you just smack the ball. This isn't safe at all.
Nope, not at all. So perhaps he is going to dodge out thing number 2 and try and interpose him somehow. I can't really see where he goes to prevent it, short of putting him right up inside.
That's a red die.
Oh! And that is a nasty, nasty drop.
There goes the loner.
Yep.
But that mercenary, he did his job. He's taking one out.
Taking one for the team. Okay, so yeah, this is a dodge out and then a hit on the ball. This could be a really fatal error on the part of Murtidash.
Not to mention, there are 5 orcs around this line of scrimmage that are not tagged anymore.
Yeah.
Can start moving in, basing everyone, and then you go for that ball and you pick it up. And then what? Then now it's a huge problem. You gotta start bringing support. Gotta get this break tackler out. It's just gonna be a mess, and it could all been avoided if you just blitzed away Tough Maw. But you wanted to go for this greedy stall.
You can see Urgoif even being used as a scoring threat here, moving him in towards the end zone. I mean, realistically speaking, you've got another turn before you even have to think about that, but And he doesn't do it. So it may be.
No, he's coming back.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you kind of want him there, but realistically speaking, he could have been pushed forward so that you can make the pass a bit later. I think maybe you just leave Jazik there to stop Terra from.
No, he's not. He's not going for the dodge.
Wow, I'm surprised by that. I'm really surprised by that. That would have been a dodge with a reroll to get on ball and hit for 2 dice. Instead, he's forcing the dodge from Murtidash, which just seems counterproductive because it's just a step out, really.
I don't agree with that. I think
He does,
maybe
however,
just my human instinct, but it just, if you get a dodge to hit the ball with 2 die, you dodge out and you hit with 2 die.
Yeah.
And you take out that ball carrier. There's no block on him. You just smash him in the face. If it works, if it doesn't, it doesn't matter.
He has now put someone with tackle on the ball, though, so that could have been his plan all along. And a foul for good measure.
Oh!
And nothing doing there. So here we go. This is the dilemma. He has to step out from the tackle piece. I don't think he has anything short of making a dodge that can get there.
Right now, there's too many pieces on the ball to not dodge out.
Yeah.
And there's no chain push way to get around that. No, I don't see the chain push. So, realistically, let's see. You get 1. You don't have enough players. No, you don't have enough players for that anyway.
Nope.
And if you did, you just have to score. The only good dodge out here is just scoring.
Back into
and
the
maybe
left and
maybe
score.
force. Yeah.
I still don't like it. I would have liked to have seen the blitz on the ball carrier, but I think Succuboi missed that one for some reason. Too focused on the blood aspect of Blood Bowl, perhaps. but yeah, I think it's a better position at the end of his last turn than we probably would have anticipated from the beginning of the turn when that blitz went in. Or at least from when the blitz went in. So I don't hate it. I just think it was the wrong option, maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking if your opponent gives you a dodge out to hit their ball, and instead you blitz the person that's on you and then base the ball, you kind of just traded positions. Now your opponent has the dodge out.
Here we go. Gets the power as well. That's
this
it.
break tackle. Ooh.
Bam, that's a stun. And that's got to be a score, hasn't it?
Or you could hit with the Hobgoblin. You just hit the
It's going to be a 1 die because the Hobgoblin, no, wait, it is going to be a 2 die. You are correct.
Nope, we're dodging out and scoring.
We are dodging out and scoring.
Fair enough.
Cuts his losses. The most hated Hobgoblin in the world because he broke the naming scheme. Scores a touchdown. So, as we see, still knocked out. Dead. Alright. So we'll switch to behind the ripped fangs here.
You're so emotionless about it. Dead. Another day, another death.
It is the circle of life, my friend. The circle of life. It is what it is. It's how it works.
It is what it is. So 3 turns to score is orcs. It's not impossible, but it's not easy.
Yeah, for sure.
In general, when you start from straight at the line, you need to go 13 squares. When you have 6 movement, that'd be 6 movement 1 turn, 6 movement another turn, and then you're 1 square off. So with 3 turns, if you're just booking it up the field, you can generally make it. However, you don't usually get a chance to just run up the field, so that's not totally in the cards.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, so knowing Succuboi as well and the way that he kind of approaches Blood Bowl, there is a distinct possibility that what he will really do here is just to set up to maim Murtidash as much as possible if things like picking the ball up fail.
To be fair, there is a free hit on the Hobgoblin, and every removal counts here.
For sure. And it's also worth remembering that Squigums does have that movement up, so is effectively movement 6, movement 8 if you're going to be willing to risk GFIs, which does make him speedier than many people would anticipate.
Indeed. Movement up thrower is a nice asset on the team.
Oh, for sure, especially with an Orc.
Oh, there's kick. Forgot about kick. Kicking close.
Kicking very close.
Personally, if I'm I just scored. The opponent has 3 turns left to score. I'm thinking I'm gonna kick further away, so they have to make some longer passes and start rushing. But now that the kick is close, now we can cage up almost in our opponent's half if we want to. And then we just have 2 turns to just run up the field. Instead of having to run from all the way downtown and being forced to make a pass because we're orcs and we're slow.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, already we're seeing Squiggles up in a position where you could conceivably see a score before half term. Half term? I keep saying that. Half time. Half time. Half term. Half term. Yes, it is school. I've regressed 20 years. Well, not quite.
Why is this one named Thing 1? Thing number 1, number 2. it's like the sequel to. I can't even.
It's a Dr. Zeus reference, isn't it? I think what happened is, didn't Thing number 1 die? So
Probably died.
Yeah,
they're hobgoblins.
Yeah, I think Thing number 1 died, so it's Thing number 2 and Thing number 3 now, and I think Thing number 3 might be off the pitch. So yeah, just Thing number 2 left, just holding up the side there,
just hanging out. Ooh, that's kind of annoying.
a little bit. It's not what you want, is it? It's always disappointing when you have a really bashy piece and all it's doing is getting lots and lots of pushes. But there is a block liner there, and there we go. Chorf goes down. I mean, it's a pretty solid cage there, and you've got a Bull Centaur who is pretty much out of the action there. So it's conceivable.
I'm probably going to blitz the Hobgoblin with good old strength up big punch.
Urgoyf of Doom. Yep, goes in, whacks that Hobgoblin in the face, gets the POW. No armor break though. He's just not having a good day today, is he? So let's see where we're at with Murtidash and whether he can pile on enough to get this sorted.
Main thing right now is that you want to make the Chaos Dwarves have to split up their efforts, go after your scoring threats, and go after your players here. And we see this front where there's a left side, we got Urgoyf and the other ones just down here. So you have to deal with them, and we have the ball in a perfectly fine cage. So you have to split up your efforts, and once your team is split up, the guard advantage doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah, Succuboi has done a really good job of essentially forcing Murtidash to either commit to one side and risk getting hit from the other, or split his forces. And when you're splitting forces with players who have MA4, it's not ideal. He is on ball now with tackle because that's how Chaos Dwarfs roll, but still no I call particularly secure.
I'm glad you always bring up that it's with tackle.
Yes, because when a Chaos Dwarf is standing on the ball and has tackle on there, it's just nastier for dodging out.
Oh no! From a 3+ with no reroll to a 3+ with no reroll. How terrifying!
Yeah.
course, a 3+ is a 3+, and sometimes you just roll those 1s and those 2s. But in this situation, it seems like the only real option here is dodging out. I mean, you could try to set up some assists and start punching, but you won't make much forward progress that way. Ooh!
Hobgobbo goes down on the GFI.
Didn't watch out for the banana peel.
Instant reroll.
Of course, it's 2 turns and 2 rerolls. May as well.
For sure. Yeah, so this is where it's... Succuboi really has to go forward here. If he's forced to go back and round, then he doesn't score, I don't think, unless he can get one of these blitzers up and make some sort of pass play, which is conceivable. You could see Sharkmoor hit Malaise and then Toughmoor run up the field, but it's going to be a lot tougher for him here because that bull centaur has just stuck himself right in his face and gone, I dare you. Does get the POW on Malaise though, so that play is on. Could be an intercept. We have seen stranger things. I've had Blackhawks intercept before. That's always good fun. Smarmy high elf passes.
I play some high elves, pro elves, and sometimes you just gotta pass over people. Yeah. And when that intercept happens, no. So I finally got safe throw. So I'm like, okay, no more, never again. Please no.
I had the opposite happen. I was playing a high elf team, and the high elves managed to steal the ball off of me with an insane cage dive, and then he went to pass it out over the top of the remnants of my cage, and one of the Blackhawks just reached up and plucked it out of the air. I was just like, I'll take that. I'm happy with that.
I think the main thing you have to decide right now is...
We are on a pause here, folks.
Oh, it's a pause? Okay.
It is a pause.
Well, the main thing you have to decide right now as Succuboi is, do I want to help out the cage, or do I want to throw more scoring threats? And I think you really need to start throwing some scoring threats. Maybe blitz this ball away and then bring out or go off both of the strength ups and just have them around here so that the effort has to be spread out.
I would be genuinely tempted to use Toughmoor to blitz out thing number 2 and make for the end zone like that.
Interesting.
Push. Because if you're going to have to throw that passing play anyway, it's probably better to have someone in position to score on turn 8, so that you don't even have to move anyone up there, and you're avoiding the need for GFIs. But he really does need to throw a player forward this turn, otherwise he's not scoring.
The main thing you have to worry about is that this bull centaur has break tackle. It can easily dodge on a... Oh, we're seeing the chain push play.
We are.
Interesting. Was a 1 die.
Gets the armor break. No injury.
Hard armor break.
Frees up the catcher though, but he still needs to get a player forward.
Yeah, that was one of the main players who could have went and gone forward, and now who are you getting forward? Who's heading up? You got 5 players that can move still beyond the ball carrier. One of them is based. Another one's based. Another one's based. Another one's based. And the one that isn't based is a black orc. So because you went for the let's keep the ball carriers safe. Now you don't have a scoring threat, which is why maybe you should have focused on just moving up the field and saying, well, I'm gonna have to do a pass play here. It is a 3-turn. He's got pieces that are roadblocks. I'm just gonna have to pass it and hope for the best.
And realistically speaking, anything that you can bung up the pitch here is going to have to do it via a dodge, and it's a dodge into a tackle zone and then out again. Just poor positioning here, really, for the pieces for getting upfield. So I'm not really sure. Does he abandon it and just go for trying to get as many hits on people as possible?
The play does kind of, doesn't feel the greatest, because now you just have to either dodge out Urgov, who just blocked, so not going to be able to do that. Let's see.
Maybe Squig Muncher goes for a run, but I suspect that is not going to happen. We may see a 1-die block. If we see the one die block
mean-
here, then I don't think he's planning on scoring this half.
I would think that you do just run them down the field and say, if they fail to dodge, you know, whatever. If they don't, then perfect.
For sure.
You don't really have anything to lose. Alright, we're moving the ball around. Oh!
Oh, now that's saucy. Saucy little
Right.
dodge there.
Right then, it's the plus movement. It can do that.
And he is now within range of scoring with 2 GFIs.
Fortunately, even a push would do it because 2 GFIs being pushed back on is now, well, I'm out of range. And again, we still have the break tackle, so it's just not too hard to stop this score. I would have liked to see Squig Muncha come up and maybe help support this front.
For sure. It seems vulnerable. There's not really a massive amount that needs to be done to prevent this from happening. I mean, we've seen him dodge bull centaurs out already, and he still does have a reroll.
Well, it's break tackle. That's a 2+. So
Yeah.
it's just like an elf.
I was
I'm
looking
like
at
an
the other
elf.
one. In
Away
fact.
we go.
Yeah, here we go. Here comes the blitz,
And we're down.
and we're down.
So of course, in the spirit of Blood Bowl, we always have to keep looking for the next best opportunity, and the next best opportunity would be to attempt a chain push on Urgoif, and
Sure.
I don't believe that's possible. Especially not if you're getting Kaz. That's like Orc
Ouch.
lineman going down hard.
Squig Muncher is out of it. I do, however, see a
Oh, yeah.
beautiful surf on Danok Bonecatcher here. So if you're just going to go, screw it, I'm not scoring, I'm just going to hurt people, then immediately you're going to see that surf on Danok Bonecatcher.
It's gonna be dodging out though, or just doing the one die.
Or that works
One
as well.
die is better. Still surf potential though.
Still surfable. Still very, very surfable.
And after your piece just got removed, gotta take what we can get here.
For sure. We're down, so just bouncing off of each other. Alright. It has been a bit of a punch fest so far. They've actually played very quickly as well.
Don't need to think much when you're just, ooh, I click on player, I click on other player, click on best dice. Always follow. Let's go.
I think that does a disservice, at least, to the means of playing effectively with these teams. There
Ooh,
we go. Oh,
KO.
that's a
Don't need to surf when they walk off the pitch themselves.
KO. Well, it gets carried out.
Who does carry them out anyway? Like, they just kind of teleport.
Well, they do have wizards, don't they?
Mm.
But I would imagine it's tame goblins
Just a bunch of goblins running
Yeah.
up to you.
with a
Just-
stretcher. It's a stretcher squig, so the stretcher actually runs up. It's just like a really flat squig.
That sounds kind of
Oh.
terrifying, honestly.
Gotta take the reroll there. There's no other reason to keep it. No armor break. So do we see the hit on Pennycat going in? You can get a rather nice assist using Chin Basher.
Good old chin basher. Now, the main thing here is, of course, Murtidash is going in the next half 1-0, and they still have the bribe.
Mhm.
They do not have their other inducement, but that was to, you know, remedy the one they didn't have.
For
The
sure.
Chaos Dwarf they didn't have. So, that's not the end of the world.
Oh, we
Two
see a
of their
Black Orc
hobgoblins
Blitz
are KO'd. Black Orc Blitz coming in hot.
and gets the hit. No banana. And another hit on a Chaos Dwarf. And no banana. I'm not sure why I've just decided to start saying banana instead of armor break. Alright, so second half. Both hobgoblins get up.
See. Ah, that's not a very good.
Black Orc is still dead.
Unsurprisingly.
Alright. I think this is going to be a case of the Rip Fangs just trying to bull their way through and score as quickly as possible here, and then hope that they can steal the ball.
Well,
it's a PSPU game though, so
yeah, I was about to say. So we can just take our punches and go on.
Just go. I don't mind losing if I can knock out half your team with injuries, and therefore get some Blork levels on my one unleveled Blork because you killed the other one. Damn you!
Kind of sucks because that one was halfway there, and now it's full way dead.
For sure, but better that one than one of the ones who already had block.
Yeah, of course. One of the ones that are already block would have been awful. Another close kick.
Kicking it shallow, yeah. And another high kick as well. So.
Another high kick. Close, but very high.
Just booted it straight up, just whiffed it.
We see another catch here? Nope.
Nope. Squigums fails in the catch this time round. So I think we're almost certainly going to see a left-hand drive here. Closes off the channel there. Goes
Time for some punching.
That's freed up another Black Orc for that side. You can kind of close things off a little bit and stop anyone from moving round.
I would think that matchups like this, it's got to be really frustrating to just hit over and over, and because 9 armor is 9 armor, you just don't get anything done.
For sure. I think a lot of it is down to the fact as well that the hits are coming in from pieces that don't have Mighty Blow. So when you're not hitting something with Mighty Blow and it's got AV9, then it can be really tough to get those armor breaks.
Probably almost never going to happen. Except, well, we have seen a Kaz on each side, so it does happen every now and then. But that was mostly injury dice being injury dice.
Now, I'm not sure how aggressive Succuboi plays this. Does he run up Urgoyf and punch thing number 2? Or even Milo Cat? I mean, he's got a 2 dice and a Bull Centaur here. That's got to be tempting. But doing that does leave the ball somewhat uncovered if Squigums fails to pick it up.
The other option is blitzing with this Black Orc and just how long?
Which he has not done. Here we go.
No.
That's the Bull Centaur.
Yeah, that would have been a GFI. Oh, here we go.
Temptation here is to pile on, I think, but that's pushed to the sideline.
We don't have piling on, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm confusing Urgoyf with Crump Teeth there. Just like, it's an Orc Blitzer. Of course he's got piling on. No, he doesn't. He
you would think, but we have a big fist in the way.
Yeah.
Big fist where piling on would be.
Fist-shaped block on that one. Yeah, so I regressed to playing my last game there for some reason. To be fair, I haven't eaten anything. I've been at work all day. I ran back here. I was like, holy shit, the game's starting. I need to get back. Things we do for Blood Bowl, eh? Yeah, so I think if you're Succuboi, you're probably going for an early score if you wanted to win. If you're not, you're just trying to pull Murtidash in so you can hit pieces, isolate them and hit them.
Right now, I would probably be looking at what can I score with, what would level up and help me out in the next coming games. And when we take a look at it, there is this Black Orc that's 13 out of 16. Obviously, that's not a not a terribly tempting choice because AG2, but if we get into a very dominating position, that may be the case. Beyond that, though, there's nobody who's really close. In general, I'm not sure if this applies to orcs too, but on humans, you don't really want to level up your thrower much because he just kind of he's just bloat. He doesn't really do anything for your team beyond just he gets the ball, he holds the ball when there's strip ball, and beyond that, he's just a lineman.
That's pretty accurate, yeah. And with orcs, given that the thrower is generally going to have worse armor than most of your other pieces as well, they do feel a bit squishy. So there is a temptation to just kind of... Well, they have less armor than every other piece except a goblin if you've got one. So there is a temptation to just kind of leave them at where they're at so that you can let them get hit. That said, because of the move up, I would have thought that Squiggums is probably more likely to level up further than other throwers. It's the one piece that if you haven't built a blitzer specifically to act as a ball carrier is much more likely to pick up. And from bitter experience, I can tell you that one of the worst things is when you are failing 4 or 5 pickups in a row. It's just infuriating. Because you can't do anything. You're stuck there for 4 or 5 turns just trying to pick a freaking ball up.
Ooh, that's an awful 1 in 9.
That really was.
I do wonder why that was rerolled.
I kind of do as well. I think he probably would have been better off just eating it. I mean...
I think it's just a case of, oh, it's just turnover dice. I should re-roll it.
Yeah. I mean, he's still got that bribe, but he hasn't really been fouling anyone.
In general, if it's the last thing you're doing your turn, you're taking a blockless block, you roll that 1 in 9, you may as well just say, it's not... I'd rather have this re-roll for something more important. You know, like maybe you go for the ball with one of your bull centaurs and you don't roll it, and then, well, I used that roll earlier and now I don't have it for this situation. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not exactly just something that you... Oh, I understand this. It's more of a mid-level tactic where you just choose... This is turnover dice, I am aware, but I will not re-roll this.
Yeah, it was pretty much the last thing he was doing. Yeah, okay, you could potentially lose the Hobgoblin, but what did it really accomplish to re-roll it apart from lose the re-roll? On turn 9, you know?
So, now as we can see, all of the slow pieces are on Succuboi's left. So, yes. We're going to the right. Makes
perfect sense. I think if you're Succuboi, you're probably thinking about blitzing with the Black Orc here. Grab the Bone Ripper. Blitz him in, hit the Hobgoblin, Danark Bone Catcher, and then drop him back.
Whatever gets the most damage right now. Unless like that's what's going to be getting the most damage.
Yeah.
Not working out, unfortunately. But that is a Chaos Dwarf down, so that certainly slows them down.
And with that strength up, that is a 2 dice on the Bull Centaur as well.
Is it? No, there's one Chaos Dwarf still standing.
Oh, you're correct. I didn't see him standing behind the Black Orc. My bad.
There's an armor break. Now we're busting.
Mighty Blow doing its thing there as well, but just a stun.
Are we gonna see the unassisted foul with sneaky git?
It would be a thing, I guess. There we go. It gets the 1 dice though.
There we go. Now, unfortunately, similar to last time, though this time without a dodge, there's a hit on the ball.
Yep. There is indeed.
Doesn't do the foul, doesn't do the 1 die. I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, I'm not either. It seems 6 of times. Yeah.
I guess they're already stunned, so the foul isn't that appealing. But even the 1 die would be, you know, it's on the Hobgoblin, and if your guy goes down, he's armor 7, he's fine. He's chilling.
I'm looking at this and seeing that there isn't really, without doing some pretty extensive dodging, any way to kind of get support on that ball here. I suppose you could. He's just going to go for it. Why not risk it for a biscuit?
Why not? Here we go.
Gets it.
And he gets it.
Wow.
Big punch.
Oh, and that's a
Ouch.
KO on Squigums. Brutal.
That's your sure hands off the pitch.
Mm-hmm. And that was AV8 as well.
Oh,
got a 9.
we got it.
just Sharkmore just making a mockery of that hit. Just being like, yeah, I'm a guard blitzer. Whatever.
And we're going down again.
And he's going down again. Oh.
This time we're not going to pick it up.
No. Not a bad scatter at all. That's a dodge out to pick up.
This is one of the issues that people mention with throwers, is that they have lower armor. Oh, fell in a... Ooh.
And the dodge fails. But not the second time.
We got it, but we don't
Fails
got
the
the ball. Oh,
No.
oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. That could have been a lot messier there.
That could have been a lot messier.
It's pretty messy.
Now the lucky thing is, the guard is in the perfect spot right now. You stand him up, you're assisting everything.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't really have a good pickup option.
Blitz comes in.
Yeah, obviously you're gonna blitz that one and just get him off.
Yeah. Stand the guard up. Probably a hit to thing number 3 as well. Don't follow it. Yep.
No knockdowns on these armor 7s.
No.
Gotta be a little frustrating.
Just pushes.
Of course, with the 3 people who were here, the 3 orcs, were the only ones who weren't really based. Or if they were gonna be hidden anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's kind of hard to get this ball back. Like, it's kind of safe right now. It's not too bad, but you would want to grab that ball up.
For sure. You want to grab it up sooner rather than later if you're going for a win here. Just pushes again. So many pushes when it's been these big killer pieces. Those dwarves are just going to stand back in. Follows with that one.
I really do want to see the unassisted foul on Panic.
For sure. Just to see what happens there. But no, it goes for gets the one-die power on the Hobgoblin. That's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, that's fine.
The foul would have been amusing, though.
Coming in hot with the foul.
Alright, so if you are Murtidash here, realistically speaking, you don't even really need to get the ball. You take the hit on Toughmore, you've freed up Malays who can run round, and then you can literally run the other guys around and just swarm where the ball is. Scatters it though.
We're scattering. And that's a little bit worse.
That is a little bit worse.
It could have been a little bit better, so it's not a bad play.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're going to be recovering that ball when it's surrounded by several orcs. So sure. Just kind of go for the gamble. Maybe the person who just did the hit, maybe they fail to catch and then it scatters back. And then you got the ball. And if it doesn't, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't make his position particularly worse in terms of where he's at. I mean, what I would have liked to have seen is him to just go, well, I'm already winning, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to push everyone back. Ooh, dodges out.
Oh, no.
It's a 4+ dodge, right?
No, it's a 2+.
2+ dodge, because it's break tackle, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so scatters it again.
I would just like to note, that's 3 rerolls and 3 turns. We're out of rerolls.
Yep. But a best situation.
However, it may pay off. We have sure hands right next here. We got hobgoblins. This may be the ball steal.
Could be potato o'clock. Doesn't look like it though. That's definitely a make safe the ball rather than do something crazy.
You can still do something crazy. Just not as crazy, but still quite crazy.
I suppose that does make it better. If he fails to pick up, it could scatter to thing number 1, number
Here we
2.
go, going for the pickup. Got it.
Got it.
We're gonna dodge out. We got it.
Got it. That could be 2-1. Deadard Chin Basher can catch him though. So he just steps back into the protection. Of
Yep, that's totally fair.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
We're gonna see the first piling on.
We do. We see
Wow!
the piling on. Boom. Nothing.
Almost got him. Almost. One off.
Cushioned by the belly.
Yeah, this is why you generally want claw, because when you don't have claw and you do that, now you're down, they're down. This isn't the spicy situation. And of course, right next to the sneaky git, gonna come at you hot.
Yeah, that's it. Sneaky git using his sneaky gitness to not do anything that a sneaky git would do.
I've been waiting all this time to see the sneaky git foul someone. Already did foul someone, but foul someone into Kaz, just straight up, and then it's like a strength bonus or something stupid.
Well, what I've always said is that everything is a terrible... Well, all the terrible choices are terrible choices until they do something that wins you a game. Sneaky Git doesn't make your fouls any better, it just means you're not going to get sent off for rolling doubles on a foul that doesn't do anything. So it's kind of situational, but, you know, if that player fouls someone, would have got sent off, and then fouls someone and kills them, paid for itself, really, hasn't it?
Fortunately, Mighty Blow not paying for itself.
No. Really hasn't for Succuboi this game.
No, it has not.
Gets the 1-die power, though. Surrounding that bullseye.
And there's the armor roll that Mighty Blow would have worked on.
Yeah, exactly.
On cue.
Opts for the push rather than just bouncing off of each other. We had a disconnect here? No.
It's a lot of consideration.
A lot of consideration.
Unassisted foul. Oh wait, no, that'd be a negative assisted foul.
It would be a negative assisted foul.
Do it! No! I'm so sad!
I'm kind of disappointed that Murtidash hasn't been fouling more considering he has a bribe, but I guess, you know, I mean, he's players up, but who are you fouling with? That's the thing.
Like, you try to foul with your hobgoblins, but they're always busy doing hobgoblin things, and nobody's ever down for them to go after.
I think Succuboi's done a pretty effective job closing off the alleys into which thing number whatever can run. Danark, it's Danark this time again. Danark's the one with the ball. Thing something.
The kind of issue with the bribe in this matchup is, well, first of all, you don't only have the dirty player, and beyond that, it may be hard to really, because if you would want to use that bribe, it would have been in your first half.
Yep.
You know, you get a really good shot because you're already, you know, near the touchdown area. You stall out for a couple turns, and then you get a good, really big foul in, or maybe not even the big foul, maybe like 2 assists, 3 assists, even 1 assist, and then you use the bribe, or you don't use the bribe, maybe get a Kaz, and then you just, well, that's it. So maybe on the other hand, maybe would have preferred something like maybe extra team training or 2 babes.
Yeah, for sure. Just is kind of an odd choice. But then, like I said, you know, we'll call it an odd choice until the bribe turns out to be
until it works. Whoop, there it is.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, being strength up doesn't help you much when you're tagged by 2 guard, which just makes it as if you're against some 4 strength, but they're just guard. So we're gonna have a hard time sneaking out of here. Speaking of sneaking out, there goes the hobgoblin.
just running it back, which is sensible. He doesn't need to score to win the game. Yeah, okay, development, blah, 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 but is it worth risking losing the Hobgoblin for when he's, you know, not a million miles away from the...
Ooh, there's a skull you don't want to see.
Yeah. Frees up a Black Orc, but he's on the other side.
To be fair, it was a 50% for a knockdown since you had a block and they didn't. It wasn't a bad one. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off. When you roll a 1, nothing works.
It's true.
Elves be like, oh boy, time to do elf stuff. Oh no, what's this? A 1?
Runs in, gets the POW.
Yeah, that's not a 1, that's a 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big 5.
Decent scatter as well. That's a dodge out to get to the ball with the guard blitzer.
Sketchy dodge though, but no, not going for that. Gonna go for the hit. I guess you're gonna grab it with Sharkmaw instead.
Yeah, I was talking about... I was actually talking about Sharkmaw, so I think that's the one that you go for.
Yeah, fair enough. I think at this point you absolutely go for that dodge.
Yeah.
Like 100 times out of 100 times. You have 3 rerolls, there are 4 turns left. If you don't go for that dodge, you're probably not scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. The only concern that I have about that is you've got 2 Chaos Dwarves here who are being tied up by this 1 Black Orc.
No, we're not going for the ball. We're just straight up chilling.
Guess he's looking more at development. Gets the skull. You re-roll that. Yeah.
Ugh. See, I would much prefer that. Ooh, there we go.
On thing number 1, number 2, who is out?
Thing number 1, number 2 is KO'd. The thing is, I would have much further preferred that reroll being used, you know, to grab the ball than on a 1 die that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme here.
Yeah. And instead, it's a dodge out to pick it up again.
I don't like to play the, oh, here's what would have happened game, but, oh, speaking of here's what would have happened.
Ooh.
Standing up your players is kind of important.
Yeah.
But no matter what you would have done there first, you would have failed miserably. Ouch. Nothing can save you from double skulls. Oh, that's brutal. Apparently not making that dodge has paid off tremendously. And now we have 2 rerolls to scoop up this ball with and just get it down the field.
And we're going to see a surf.
Put in a lot of effort into that serve. Doesn't remove a player, so, you know, a player not on the pitch is a player not going to run up and steal your ball.
No injury or anything though, unfortunately. But yeah, this is basically burn the reroll if you have to on the pickup, and you're away to the races. Like, who's going to catch you at this point? You got 1 Hobgoblin, and that's about it.
I would absolutely pick this up and then just make the GFIs, so I'm absolutely safe.
There we go.
Scoop it up, got it.
Scoops it up, and just legs it, and then yeah, just make the GFIs.
GFIing? Nope, not GFIing.
No
Fair
GFI.
enough. So the bull can't reach you, but the Hobgoblin with 2 GFIs can. So it's not a bad spot to be.
I would have taken the 1 GFI and just put it out of the realms of possibility, but I guess he was saving them for these blocks over here. Do we see the sneaky bit foul?
There's an assist! There's an assist! It's 7 armor, come on!
I can see you do a little flag like Homer in The Simpsons.
No!
The disappointment is palpable. Going for
I'm so sad!
Sensible though, he does go for providing an assist on the hit with the Black Orc here.
Who needs the blitz? This is sneaky kid foul!
Just a push with this one though. And we're going to see, I think, a Hobgoblin attempt at a last man standing block. Last man standing blitz, maybe. He may just surrender it. He may just go, whatever, I'm not going to risk it.
I think I would try to get the bull to tag the ball and then maybe do the blitz and just say, well, if the blitz fails, it's whatever. The main issue is, of course, you have no rerolls, so any GFI you make, the moment you roll that 1, whoops, except for the bull centaurs, who can say, well, I have sure feet, so I'm like an elf, and I can roll a 1 and survive.
It's still, yeah, you would be able to tag with the Bull Centaur, but it's 3 GFIs to get to him, so...
Of course. But 3 GFIs with sure feet just feels like 10 times more safe
Yeah.
than, just trying to blitz on the ball and just saying, well, I better roll well. Better roll at 5+ on the hit. Here we go, here comes a sprint. 1, 2, 3.
Gets it.
Now it's a 2 die. You have 2 GFIs. Nope. No sir.
Not happening.
Now see, the main benefit of this is that yes, maybe he would have done better with the hit should he have just done those, and he failed the GFI. But now there's a piece on your ball.
Yeah.
And knowing Succuboi, not very interested in dodging out. Would rather punch than dodge out.
Do the blitz play. So he blitzes with the ball carrier onto the Bull Centaur and then runs away with him.
With 1 dice, it's kind of sketchy.
He's got to reroll. All he has to do is get a push.
Well, by that token, you may as well just dodge out, no?
Sure. I think that's what he's setting up for, though. So we will see. It's depending on which one he feels more comfortable with.
Oh, we do see a dodge in a touchdown.
That is it. Does the dodge.
We're 1-1.
We are 1-1.
And that is a piece you do want to score on.
For sure. Those sexy orc cheerleaders doing their thing. Knocked out Hobgoblin does not return. Nor does Squiggums the thrower. So I think we're probably here going to see, unless there's some crazy Chaos Dwarf 1-turner in the works, going to see a...
2-turning with Chaos Dwarves?
2-turning.
Not impossible.
Not impossible. Yeah, I said 1-turner there. I didn't mean 1-turner. I meant 2-turner. Yeah, so I think we may well just see Succuboi line up at the back and just go for it. If you can do it, do it.
That's probably the way to do it. Or just, line up so that you can't really get through without making dodges, and then say, well, do your worst. I have 5 strength 4s.
And you have no rerolls. The inexplicable choice of the bribe here, it's done nothing. It's not even been used.
Maybe in another universe there was a great time to foul, and then that's when the bribe goes out for a casualty.
For sure, yeah. And I think it's fair to say as well, these Hobgoblins have spent quite a lot of time off the pitch, so maybe if they had not done that, that wouldn't be the case. And really, if we look at it, then Succuboi has definitely come off the worst of this. I mean, you've got one badly hurt Chaos Dwarf, and you've got a dead Black Orc. Dead! So going into minors, it's a bit of a setback. It's not a huge one because it was an unlevelled one, but it's still a bit of a setback.
You can probably afford it, but that's 3 SVP down the drain, which it's going to be hard to get again.
Hurts on Black Orcs. Really hurts on Black Orcs.
Oh yeah, and there is the off chance that MVP says, "Hello there."
Hello there, dead guy. I am going to name you the MVP, even though you died literally before the game started.
And then just sad times for all.
So here we go. Kick goes in. Could see a riot, I guess. Nope, just a brilliant coaching. That is a reroll, so that's
there we go.
Slightly more plausible, but still not particularly plausible. Sets up in essentially rule of 5. Jogs it down the field. That Bull Centaur is probably going to come in and try and tie up those pieces. It's still doable. It is still doable. Wouldn't rule it out.
The best scoring thread for you right now is going to be this Bull Centaur. It's got... Ooh. Don't want to make any more now.
Surefeet does its thing, yeah. Brings the other one down for good measure.
Of course, as I said earlier, 13 squares from the very line to reach your opponent's side. And if 6 movement, you need to make 1 GFI in 2 turns. Of course, if you're a Bull Centaur and you have sure feet, that's not all that scary.
Nope. the scarier part of this, I think, is going to be moving that ball downfield in 2 turns to get it into position where you can score. But again, that is entirely doable.
Well, the issue is, of course, that you're not elves. You don't have a bunch of pieces that can move up the field. So 3 of these pieces are going to go on one bull. 3 of them are going to go on the other. And how are you getting out of there?
Yep.
Of course, with making that 1 GFI, you have the movement to dodge around and then double GFI into the end zone. The other one is a triple GFI, but it's still not that bad. Well, I guess you wouldn't dodge out with the one that doesn't have, what was it, break tackle? Unless it's just a Hail Mary.
I think given where that ball is, then you're much more likely to see it go down the right-hand side. But sure hands fails, so I think that's probably it, short of a ridiculous pass play. I should have switched around the view. I apologise for not doing that. So we are now looking at the ribbed Fang's end. But yeah, this is going to be tough. This is a big ask. I mean, pick up, pass to thing number 3, hand off to the ball centaur. That could work.
Yeah, you're rolling dice. It doesn't matter what you do. You're rolling dice.
It's whether you have faith in those dice or not.
Here come the players. What's up, bull? How's it hanging?
We're going to see an Urgoish blitz on the bull center on the right-hand side, I think, which could potentially be a mistake. Maybe we'll see the Mighty Blow come in on the bull center on the left-hand side, which would be the better
It should definitely be the one with the break tackle, because that's the one that can dodge through a tackle zone. Well, actually, you wouldn't dodge through a tackle zone, but you dodge out of a tackle zone on a 2+.
No,
we're going for the one that doesn't have it. Getting it down.
No armor break. Yeah, I think that was.
So,
I think that should have been a Haruka onto Pennycat there. That would have been the wiser choice, but we'll see. I mean, we could see some ridiculous spawny bull centaur crap go on here, but I think it's very unlikely now that Murtidash scores.
So the play I'm seeing here is that you one die the player on the ball with the hobgoblin. You hope that's a knockdown, and if it's not, you're kind of in the hot water. Then you just pass to the ball centaur. Oh, we're going in. Not gonna get much. Sneaky get too powerful.
Yeah, sneaky get. The aura of bad skill choice is too strong.
So you one die Hooker, and then you dodge out. You go around the tackle zone, and you triple GFI to the end zone. But the issue there is, of course, do you catch it while you're there, or do you try to catch it while you're in the end zone? Either way, you're making a 6. So I'm thinking you would rather have... let me see here. It'll be a 4+, 6+ for the pass and the catch. But if you're already in the end zone, it'd be a 6+, 4+. So it doesn't really matter.
Either way.
I suppose you just do the pass right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Actually, yeah, you can definitely get into a decent range. Yeah, it'll be a 4+.
There we go. Moment of truth.
Sure hands. We're doing it right now. We're just straight doing it right now.
Why not?
It's a handoff. I forgot about that hobgoblin.
Yep. So the handoff. I think you then see the hobgoblin run up, and presumably pass to the bull centaur. I wonder if you take the block on the mighty blow guy with tackle.
I think you have to do that first.
Yeah,
and
you have to do that first.
Because if that fails, that kind of...
Oh, he does it with the bull centaur.
Wait, what?
It's a stun.
Wait, how is he scoring then?
The hobgoblin, maybe? But the only way to do that is to dodge 3 times through tackle zones.
Is he gonna half-die blitz?
He could do. That could make sense.
It's gonna be a half-die blitz. I'm excited.
Oh,
got it!
Drama, drama, drama. He's got a reroll.
4+, 4+. No, wait, 4+, 4+, 3+, or the half-die, where you need at least a 3/3 on 2 die. So I think you take the half die.
Here goes
Here
the
comes the
half die.
half die. We got
He
it.
got it. I think he scored.
He got it.
Watch this. He fails the GFI now, just to mess it all up.
Wait.
No, there won't be a
Succuboi
GFI because he.
Succuboi took the POW.
Succuboi took the POW.
Oh, didn't follow.
Didn't
so
follow.
now it's a GFI.
It is a GFI. Is he gonna snake?
No, we got it.
He got it.
Touchdown. That's the game.
That's a tiny round of applause. Drama in the dying seconds.
Oh my god.
I guess Succuboi went, hey man, that was impressive enough, I'm just gonna give you the power so that you can at least make the attempt. Yeah, there we are. So Pangolin Madness, knock off the ripped fangs, and the most lethal thing on the pitch is a rock.
Look who got the MVP.
Oh god.
It's a dirty player now. Woohoo!
It's actually useful.
Dirty players think you get unassisted foul every time a piece goes down. Whee!
It's little incremental gains in SPP for both teams there. It's not the worst. I think they'll both be relatively happy with what they come out of there. Although Succuboi can rue the day that rock went in. So while I've got you here, talking about this, you are about to play the final of the College League. How do you feel about it?
Indeed I am. Well, gotta say, when I first came in here, I didn't totally expect to be making it to the finals. When I lost those first 2 games, I was thinking, well, I'll just look forward to minors, I suppose. But then, then I was thinking, well, let me run the numbers. And I'm like, well, if this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and then this happens, and this person doesn't show up, then I make it. And there you go. All of them freaking made it. Every single thing that needed to happen just happened. And I'm like, well, it's all up to me now. I just have to play the game, and then there you go. Made it into the playoffs as the 2nd place. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go very far. I'm probably just going to win 1 match, or win 0 matches, and then just get knocked out. I don't remember what my first match was. Hold on.
I think for a lot of people, given the path that you had to take to get to that final, I think you were pretty much... Hi, Kitakaze. Kitakaze's in chat. I think most people had kind of written you off. I do remember at one point just saying, don't necessarily rule him out, because he does have that kind of chaotic play style that can sometimes throw people off, and has an ability to exploit other people's mistakes as a result. So I'm probably a little bit less surprised than some other people would be. Funnily enough, I actually picked Kitakaze to get to the finals, I think in like week 3. So I'm kind of weirdly... I did actually predict that it would be Kitakaze versus Succuboi in the Ripped Fangs. It was like week 3 or week 4, I think. Obviously that happened earlier in the playoffs. So that kind of put pay to that one. But yeah, I guess... in retrospect, I'm less surprised than I thought I would be that you got there. I think, for me, Viscardus was such an impenetrable mountain to get past for a hell of a lot of people.
For everyone. Undefeated.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, even psychologically speaking, people who hadn't even played him, to a degree, people had kind of written off, to a degree, any team who were going up against him. So it was kind of like everyone's still like, of course Visk will get to the finals. I think the thing with Visk is, because he went through everything undefeated and so on and so forth, had great roles for his levels up, played really, really well all the way through. He was such a sort of dead cert to it that it probably put him under a lot of pressure. Being the favourite is really, it's a different kind of pressure to being the underdog. When you're the underdog, you're kind of going in. Sure. You're kind of going in. I might win. I probably won't. So I'll just have fun. I'll just do what happens, and I'll play as well as I can. And you never know, it might come good for me. Whereas when you are consistently winning, you are suddenly under pressure to keep consistently winning. So
I definitely agree with that. In the game, How long? Yeah. Viscardus was mostly running down the time, thinking every action through, and in my stream, because I stream my games just to have that there. I was explaining to my friend, hey, this is how Blood Bowl works, isn't it cool?
Yeah.
So I was definitely a lot more relaxed going into that game than Viscardus was, and that may have cost him, because at the end he left me that hit on the ball, and that just spiraled into a lot of pain.
Yeah, and I mean, there were no really big mistakes. It was just a couple of little tiny things that just opened that chink in the armour that you were able to exploit. And maybe going into this, I know from speaking to a bunch of people, to a degree, you aren't the favourite for this either, but I think a lot of people are probably reassessing it and going, this could be a lot closer than I maybe would have expected it to be 3 games ago, you know? So I don't think it's going to be a hell of a final. I think I may even be co-casting it with Rand. I'm not entirely sure, which will be very exciting if I am. I'll be very happy about that. I'm very much looking forward to watching it, though. I think it's going to be a really, really good final, and yeah, I'm expecting big things from both of you.
It's certainly going to be a game for the ages. Coming into playoffs, everyone thought, well, it's probably just going to be like orcs versus lizards, and it's just, whatever. There's only like 2 out of 16 of, what was it, like Amazon, 2 out of 16 humans, rest of them like 4, it was 2 lizards, I think, maybe 3, and then there was a lot of orcs. There was 1 dark elf. Surprisingly low amount of dark elves. I guess a lot of them kind of got carled.
I think it was 2 dark elves actually, wasn't it? The
were there 2?
Haggrave Hellions and was it Edgy?
Haggrave didn't actually make it.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Actually, it was Berzeroth's dark elves who got through, wasn't it? God,
yeah, and then
feels like a long time ago already, doesn't it? Like when we went into the start of playoffs, it feels like these playoffs have kind of gone by really, really fast. But
everyone did expect Haggrave Hellions to make it in. Surprisingly, Sacred Resonor didn't actually have a mentor at the time, and they just made mistakes. They weren't expecting to have all this pressure on them. They weren't expecting to be this, high up in the division, being a competitor, and then it all kind of crashed down from there, starting with that 1 loss against Dr. Daka with the Kislev. Just don't know how to deal with it, and then it comes at you, and whoop, there it is.
Yeah, and I think we were kind of lucky with the playoffs in the sense that a lot of the people who we expected it to be the tougher matches for them ended up drawing those matches in the first round. So, for example, Rand getting Dimmy was always going to be a bit of a pancake fest where they're just punching each other a lot. It was Berzeroth versus Glockter, who were potentially the worst possible matchup for each other in the first round. So, yeah, in a way, we kind of saw all these kind of really big, intriguing matchups early on, and that meant that there were teams that we were expecting would be the tougher teams for the other team to play against, knocking each other out early on. And it almost became kind of an endurance thing. It was who can last long enough to not get knocked out by their sort of killer team opposites.
Oh yeah, because the moment that you meet up with that team, you're thinking, well, I had a good run. The team before me couldn't do it. Guess I'm done. Whoops.
I get the feeling as well from what you were saying beforehand as well that you kind of felt that way about going into the Lizards the first time, let alone going in up against Viscardus, because Lizards have been a bit of a bugbear for you, which I can completely empathise with. So once you...
I don't want any more Lizards! I don't want more!
But once
Get them away from me!
Once you'd beaten that first Lizard team, did you feel like the pressure was off you a bit then? Because you were like, well, I've actually done a lot better than I expected to.
Maybe a little bit. I kind of said, oh, well, I got all the skinks off the field. This was kind of a struggle. I think if you watch that game, you'll actually come to see that in the first Lizard game, I was a lot less sure of what was going on than in the second one. Because in the second one, there was no, oh no. There was no real close moment in it. It was just, I tried to push, I couldn't get it done. Then Vis tried to push, and then the ball got out of their hands. There was a little close moment there. Who was gonna get the ball? Who's gonna get the ball? But in the end, I got the ball, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And but in the other game, oh boy, that ball was a 6+3+ away from just being yoinked and in the end zone, and I would have been crushing defeat. Awful.
Kidakaze asks if he had any nerves when he didn't score in the first half against Visk.
When I realized that I didn't score, there was actually a moment when I tried to. I hit the Crocs, okay, and then the Crocs went down. So I'm like, oh cool. So I'll just hit this other source, and once I hit that source, there's a channel through. But the source was blodge, and I didn't really consider that. So in the end, I just got push skull, I believe, or just push or whatever. But I should have considered that maybe this wasn't the channel to go through. But it was a very sturdy defense, and I kind of got clumped. I wasted a little too much time. Could have probably done the defense or that offense. If I had to go back and do it over again, I probably would have made some different choices.
Yeah.
But in terms of nerves, there was certainly a little bit of, oh crap, I didn't score, and now it's a lizard drive. But in the end, I wasn't really expecting to score if I was forced to try and play offense first, because lizards on defense, when they have block, most of them have block. It's hard to break through, and
it's
I wasn't able
when,
to.
like Visk, you've got two lizards who've got blodge as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, watching it from the neutral perspective as well, we could see that you were really struggling with it in that first half. I mean, there was like 4 turns where the most that the ball did was run out, hit a skink, and run back to the exact same spot that it started in. And I think it was quite early on that we kind of went, I don't really see him scoring here. So yeah, it kind of like, it felt like you kind of resigned yourself to not doing that, and then you just kind of got it out of your system. So when the second half came, there was a couple of turns where you were like, what the hell is he doing? But then eventually it kind of just, it became you waited for Visk to make a very, very tiny mistake and then exploited it for all it was worth.
Basically what I was doing in that drive was I was going, okay, I didn't score, so now I need to start forcing the issue. I need something bad to be rolled. I need something to happen. And the way I'm going to do that is by getting real close and saying, if you just wait here, it's not going to work out well for you. You're eventually going to fail something. And unlike me, where, if I fail a block, it's like, oh, whatever, it's my defensive drive. If I fail the block, I can probably recuperate. That's just like one little small thing. But with the moment that dodge failed, immediate hit on the ball. So any of those things failing throughout this turn, where, oh, well, there's a bunch of humans on me, I'm just going to punch them. Well, if one of those fails, then suddenly there's a big problem with your cage. There's a lot of humans surrounding it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, obviously it worked out all to the good for you, so you're in the final.
Of course, if I just got, 3 KOs and, 1 casualty out of that, then I just say, well, that's just how it goes, I suppose, and then that's it.
So, what... I don't want to try and pressure you into saying anything about your strategy for the final. What I am going to ask, though, is, do you have a strategy for the final yet? Have you sat down and worked out what you're going to do, or are you going to kind of try and fly by the seat of your pants a little bit?
I think I'll say it best by just looking at the opponent's team and what they got. So the main thing I see in the opponent's team is, honestly, not a whole lot of levels. The main thing that's got on this team is Teddy the Bear, level 4, Fierce Killer, not as fierce as Hubster's Jump Up monster.
Redrick Tatum, the beast who is level 5
beast.
now. Yeah. Absolute beast of a player. The thing that should not be.
And then there's also this Strength Up Ogre, which I believe was spoken of as more of a mind game than really anything. It's strength up. It serves the same purpose as an ogre does, but just a little bloatier. Of course, if you get doubles again and you roll and you get that block, then it's awful for everyone involved.
Yeah.
But right now, it's not too bad. So beyond that, you just have a bunch of level 2s. I mean, you have Old Abe, having Blodge is nice. You got Will the Woodman, having that guard is nice. You got a doubles on a catcher. Easily maneuverable guard is nice. Would have wished to have that on, instead of 14 out of 16, you know, like 17 out of 16. Have that with Blodge. Because right now it's not functionally better than Will the Woodman. Except, well, it's actually worse because of the less strength, and it doesn't really work too well as a catcher because it didn't pick up Blodge. Speaking of which, right now there's not currently a ball carrier. I mean, you have the wrestle, you have the wrestle catcher, you have George the First, who is a fine ball carrier, and he did level. You also got Ronnie Ray, who did level. So either of those are probably going to become a ball carrier because you need something with Blodge to carry the ball, or at least block.
Yeah.
And a wrestler doesn't really get that done. A guarder doesn't really get that done. So probably going to see something like that on either George the First or Ronnie Ray. And then there's J Mo, the third level up. Why is this piece still on the team? why did you keep it through? It's niggled.
Money, maybe?
Maybe money. I suppose money, but I mean, how many players does he have? He's got 13, I think. Yeah, 13. So there's definitely there's 2 bench right there. I don't know. Was waiting to see the results.
Yeah. So listening to that, it feels like you kind of have some idea of where you're going, and I'm not going to push you on that because I think that would be a mistake. Because all you will do is you will give me the juicy, no comment, which everyone is going to love. So we'll talk about sort of the season in more general terms. Have there been any teams that you're super excited about seeing going forward into minors that you're going to be kind of keeping an eye on, even if they're not in your division?
Dr. Daka, for sure.
Yeah.
Beyond that
team is
there was this. Oh yeah, that team is scary, and it's cool because you always want to see some variety. Maybe a little Kislev here and there, maybe an Underworld, but in this case we just get the Kislev. Beyond that, there was a Pro Elf team that I was looking forward to seeing, but it looks like Old Yella is tapping out and just saying, no, I'm good.
In fairness, the last time that I saw it discussed with Old Yellow, because Audrey pushed him on it and was like, "Oh, you need to take that team to minors." Old Yellow was kind of like, every time I play them, I really enjoy it, so I may well do. I'm kind of leaning towards it now. So we may actually see, at the 11th hour, Old Yellow withdraw that Orc team from Upstarts and put the Pro Elves in. I'm kind of hoping he does, because Pro Elves are such a rarity, and I played against Old Yellow in a PSPU game. He beat me, because of elf bullshit, of course, because that's what elves do. But yeah, it's just fun to see them, it's a different thing to face. And he has got some pretty good development on them. Yeah, okay, he's got a bit unlucky with the injuries in the same way that Focused and his Wood Elves have. But I would like to see them go forward to minors. I would much prefer to see them go forward to minors than just another Orc team. There are enough of us already, and looking at Old Yellow's Orc team, they lack development compared to, say, the Cheap Beer Chuggers or the Garlic Orcs of Athena especially, even though I killed one of Jakajo's Black Orcs. Let's not talk about that. I do believe they're actually playing tonight, so they've probably finished their game already, and we'll see the result there and see what happened, because it was Cheap Beer Chuggers versus the Garlic Orcs in this round of the PSPU. But yeah, I think the Rip Fangz, obviously, because of those freakish mutant pieces that they've got, which are kind of top-heavying that team in some respects. I think it's going to be more difficult for Succuboi to level those Black Orcs because he has those really developed killer pieces. It's the same problem that I've had with mine because I have Crumb Teeth. So having Crumb Teeth makes it more likely that I'm going to use Crumb Teeth to hit all the other players and less likely to use the Black Orcs.
People say a lot that killers suck up a lot of the SVP, and personally, I'm not sure that totally holds true. They suck up the blitzes, for sure, but I don't know if they suck up the SVP when all they're doing is just hitting harder than someone else would hit. Of course, when you're with this black orc who doesn't have block, you're kind of just relying on, well, maybe he'll get MVP, or maybe he'll just like punch something and it gets Kaz. No, that's really it. That's just what you have to do.
And a lot of the time as well, when you are using an unleveled Black Orc in a team that has a lot of levels on other pieces, you're not punching with that Black Orc. You're using him as a strength for a wall. So he is standing there either to take hits or to stop people from taking hits. You're not really looking at him and going, that's the person I'm going to use to punch this turn. It's kind of
who are you going to use? Priority order there. Who are you going to use to blitz with? Are you going to use the person who has block, or are you going to use, Chili McChilton with 4 movement, going to waltz his way up?
Especially if that person with block also has Mighty Blow and Piling On. It's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it?
Of course.
But
there is always a time when you need to take a black orc and say, I need to blitz, or else this is the best blitz I have. I'm going to take it, and that's it. But that's far and few between. Anyway, what would you say?
Yeah, and I think the other thing with it is your perspective is kind of skewed by playing humans who can get SPP in a lot of different ways. It's kind of like when you are an elf player, you are going to be getting a lot of SPP by passing and by scoring touchdowns. That's just how it is. When you are an orc player or a chaos player, for example, you're going to be getting a lot of SPP by punching things because they're not really very good at anything else. So you're kind of relying on that to build your team up. Whereas with humans, you're kind of more versatile in that you can get the SPP with the passes, you can get the SPP with the catches, where the touchdowns, you can get the SPP with punching because you can build the blitzers up in that respect. So you're kind of more versatile in that respect. You see elf teams level up a lot quicker than, say, pure bash teams, but elf teams tend to lose a lot of players a lot as well. So humans, while we talk about them as kind of being in the middle, the jack of all trades and master of none, they kind of have that advantage in a way. Good for learning the game as a more well-rounded player / coach too. I would say yes, but I would say that they're a really poor choice for your first team. If you are going to learn the game, picking humans to do it is actually, I would consider, they're kind of pushed as this kind of jack of all trades team that you should pick up to learn the game, blah, 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 blah.
One star skill level, but
I really don't think they are. I think that's incredibly deceptive. I think
it is incredibly deceptive. I 100% agree that they're not a beginner team, and when I was going into it, I just picked it. Oh, it's humans. They're humans, and then I don't do very well, and I'm like, what happened? What happened?
That's exactly what I did with the Mordheim creators. I picked humans because I thought they will be the easiest ones to go for. Blah blah blah. They're not brilliant at anything, but they're not bad at anything either. And yeah, I got reamed in my first season using them because I just didn't know what the hell I was doing, and it was really difficult for me to develop a sort of effective strategy for using them until I'd played them for at least sort of 10 games even. Whereas Chaos, for example, it is basically run forward and hit everything. Hope that you can get enough levels to get blocked quicker so that your hitting is more effective and less unreliable, but that is kind of what they do. They just run forward and hit everything because that's what they're built to do. Whereas with humans, you really do have to think about what you're doing with every positional in much more of a way than a lot of other teams, I think. Not a starter team. I think we can both agree on that.
No, of course.
But hey, they are apparently an endgame team because we have an all-human final. So
endgame maybe, but when it gets to high TV, that is about the point where you just say, well, had a good run.
Had a good run.
I was watching a game. It was one of these. I believe it's someone in the human Discord. Anyway, they were playing against. I believe it was Chaos, and of course, Chaos is murder fuckers. They just kill everything you have.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that's generally what happened. So. He has this crazy team with a strength 5 blitzer and a strength 4 catcher, but there's only so much you can do when the blitzes start coming and the claw starts hitting, Mighty Blow starts pushing the injuries hard.
Yeah, sure. And yeah, I would agree there in that you may well not survive, But, all Anand did with the World Cup with a human team. So we can kind of sneer at them, and I think a lot of people do look down on them, and there's a lot of people who really don't enjoy playing as them, but they have had their successes. All it takes is the right luck in the right places. For example, Kitakaze talking about how he barely squeaked through round 1 via a coin toss, but all it takes is the right luck in the right places.
All it takes is the right luck in the right place.
I was thinking about this the other day, actually. We always kind of talk about Blood Bowl as being a game of risk management. And I think that's particularly true. It is risk management. Everything, to a certain extent, is risk management. But I think part of it is also kind of the poker thing of knowing when to hold them and knowing when to fold them. Knowing when it's wise to push your luck, and pushing your luck might result in a bad result, but that bad result isn't going to screw you over completely. For example, just taking a random example from one of my games, taking that unassisted foul on that Black Orc. I knew that if the foul went off and did something good, then I was in a good position. I had a bribe, so even if it went badly, I wasn't going to suffer anything. And the absolute worst that was going to happen was nothing. So just go with in Nuffle with trust, as Kitakaze says. But to a certain extent, it's knowing when to put your faith in Nuffle and when not to. So if you're taking a move that is risky, that could screw you up the next turn, then you're doing it wrong. But if you're taking a move that is risky, on the off chance that even, it's a wild success thing, if you can get a wild success on something and not getting that wild success is not going to screw you over, you should definitely do it.
I think one of the mistakes a lot of people make is that they think that, well, if you just play perfectly and, perfectly, you'll just win all your games. But at the end of the day, there's just that luck factor. Picture this. I'm playing in Viscardus. I'm playing versus Viscardus. In turn 8, he hit my killer.
Mm-hmm.
If my killer just got KO'd and didn't come back, then I would just straight lose the game.
Yeah.
So, and it wouldn't be really my fault that kind of happened, but I still lost the game because of it.
We saw.
So sometimes you just get that, and it happens, and then you're like, well, that's how it goes.
We saw a prime example of it tonight. First turn. Before the first turn, a rock comes sailing out of the crowd, hits a Black Orc, and kills him. Just sometimes it happens. I had a game once where I think I had four players left on the pitch by turn 6 because of a combination of sweltering heat and really unlucky dice. It just happens sometimes. Sometimes, you get all the luck in the world. Sometimes you get none of it. Kitakaze's like, not randomly. Audrey did it. Yeah, you're probably right. And Squiggy is correct in that you should never trust Nuffle, because Nuffle will get you, but sometimes it's okay to just leave it to Nuffle to decide. But yeah, so I think we'll probably leave it there, because I really do need to go and cook some food, because I haven't eaten anything all day.
Oh yeah, I should probably start studying for finals.
Yes.
Actually, I only have one left, and it's kind of like the course that you don't really study for because it's easy and everyone can do it. Okay. And it's like, wow, this is just one of those things. Of course, I'm talking about my game versus Kitakaze. The actual final for college is going to be really hard. And I'll have to study for that. So I'll have to catch you later on that note.
The trash talk starts. Good luck for the final. I've wished Kitakaze luck already in person. I wish you luck. If I am co-casting, hopefully I'll get to speak to you after the game. If not, then I'll speak to you at some point, I'm sure. And
just there was some indefinite point in the future.
Yeah, so good luck for both finals, and thanks for joining me for tonight. I know it was a bit of a rush.
Thanks for having me on. This was a good time. It was nice not being the freaking person on your shoulder. Just no one can hear me.
That was pretty funny though.
It was.
All right, I will sign off here. Thank you all for joining us. Watch the final if you can watch it live. Woo! I know it's late for us Europeans, but if you can watch it live, I think it'd be worth staying up for. So good night, Aim, and right, I'll leave the last word with you. So Oh, I think he might have bailed, actually. Alright, so good night, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me, and I don't know, I'm crap at saying goodbye, aren't I? I really need to think of some clever sign-off. Answers on a postcard, folks. Bye-bye.